Building a big business, it's an endurance event, man. Like, it is difficult, and it is the most competitive sport in the world. Welcome to Brand Talk with Rachel and Drew. I'm Drew. Welcome to the show. Excited to talk about a multitude of things. There's a lot in business, and frankly, there's just a lot of theory out there, and I don't find that. Well, there are a few people that are talking about the real price of success and what it really takes, and the mindset and the money movement. Like, it's a different game. So I really want to discuss that and just share with you as the listener to what I've been able to derive from the beauty market personally by having over 4,000 conversations with salon owners over the past 4 years. So if you think about that, that's 5 to 6 conversations a day for years. So I've been able to really understand like what is going on inside the mind of your competitors. So I think chatting about that is good. Also, I want to talk about some things that I do to stay sharp, healthy, well, clear, because building a big business it's an endurance event, man. And like, it is difficult, and it is the most competitive sport in the world. So I really think about this like an athlete. I really think about my training and my development and my self-care and all my quirky routines and supplements and blood work and diet, and it's really important to me. And I don't think enough people talk about what that looks like. Because if you're just banging caffeine and not eating well, like you won't last. Like you'll get beat. You'll get beat by the person who's taking better care of their vessel, this body that we are occupying, right? So let's start with really just what's the state of the industry, right? And the state of and I don't know how to say this without sounding like a dick, but like there are so many salon owners that just can't make decisions. And me and Rachel talk about this a lot, but I want to be more clear, and I'm not being a jerk about it. It's just what's going on. Like they just can't they can't make clear decisions, and what they end up doing is they end up stalling. So the painful thing for business owners and what really eats them alive is delay. And everyone is delay. Let me think about it. Let me kick the can down the street a little further till I'm 50. Oh, now I'm 60. Shit, 68 now. I've been kicking this can, and they just don't do anything outside of like what makes them comfortable, right? Because they like to be comfortable. And if I can leave you with anything, if you are comfortable, comfort will kill you, right? So you really need to be uncomfortable, and I mean that literally, like physically, every day. You need to do things that are hard in your business, in your physical life. Everything that we're doing is hard. We really have to manage, and we're humans, right? We're not like Superman, Superwoman over here. Like it's like we're biological creatures just like you. So it is something you have to manage and maintain regularly, and it is difficult. It's also difficult not making the money that you want. But I would argue with you that it is, because I've been broke many times. Like it is hard to be broke. It is hard to not make the money that you want, right? But it is also hard, if not harder, to build a multi-million-dollar company with a large team that's making a huge impact, because there's more responsibility with the more money that you bring in, right? So you really need to understand that, and to get to the next level, it's on the back of accepting more responsibility and owning that as an owner, as a parent, as a wife, as a husband. As if you're listening to this and you're new to business and you're not sure and you're working for someone, like, dude, you got to go do the thing. No risk, no Rari. Like you have to go for it. Why not? Like you're gonna be dead in 40 years anyway. Like go do the thing. I was talking to Tim Kennedy. He's a famous dude out in Austin, and I was doing night training with him. So dude's literally jumping out of a house, pretend stabbing us as we were doing drills to clear a home. I just like doing this kind of stuff. And it was at night, pitch black. We had night vision on. And I've been thinking about flying helicopters. It's just something that's been calling me. Don't know why. Not like for a career, but my grandfather flew in Vietnam. I watch a lot of it. I study a lot of it. And I'm like, I think I want to fly helicopters. I think I want to be a helicopter pilot, and put that on the resume. You know what I mean? And he said that to me. I was like, what do you think about helicopters? He's like, super safe. I'm like, are they? He's like, yeah. If you know what you're doing, real safe. He's like, you're gonna be dead in 40 years anyway. Go fly. I was like, okay, got it. Well, I beg to differ. I'm gonna push for 50, 60 more, but okay. But he was right. It's like, go do what you want to do. Like, go do the thing. Go take the risk. And if you can do that, you're going to fail. You're going to bump your head and you're going to do things wrong. You'll learn. I think a lot of people are making the wrong decision, but if you make the wrong decision, you go down that path, you will quickly know, hey, this isn't the right path. This isn't what I'm trying to do. So you will back out, make a turn, and now you have what's called wisdom. So now you're not operating in theory like you know some shit because you experienced it. You learned in the streets, So a lot of what we do, we've learned in the streets. We've learned spending our money on Facebook ads, making shitty content, making bad ads, doing bad calls. But we've done a lot of things right, y'all, a lot right. Because if we do something wrong, we take that as a lesson and we learn from it and then we correct it and then we crush it and then we sprint forward every day, all the time. We're building something big and our goals are really big. We got things coming up in the next couple of years that I think are going to be world changing. I think we looked up, interesting enough, we were looking up, I don't know if this is true or not, but we were looking up who the top influencers are. I hate that word, but like who are the most impactful is what we looked up. Not influencer, but who's the most impactful business coach, brand development, business coaching in the salon space. We're number 5. We came in at 5. So, and I'm like, what do we need to do to be number 1? And I think we're doing what we need to be to do number 1. These things take time though. Drinking this Waterloo, that's on shot, whatever. Shout out Waterloo, free friggin' sponsorship. Send some cans, y'all. But you gotta get out there and go for it, And we looked at that up, and the reason why I looked that up was to see what are they doing that we're not doing, and the reason why I'm doing that isn't to like spy around, but I'm just genuinely curious as to what they're doing that's excellent and what are we doing that could be better, So looking that up, and then I asked, what do we need to do? But we kind of answer that question on our own. We're doing that. We're building our own events. We're creating like our own stages. Like when I'm not looking for a stage to go speak on, we get flown out from time to time to speak. I just got back from Denver. Got to hang out with Balmain. They're great. Did a keynote. Was really there just to help salon owners any way that I could. Whether they work with us or not, I was just looking to help. That's why I went. And it was a cool trip. I never can freaking breathe in Colorado for like a week. I'm super sensitive to it. Like I don't get sick or anything, but like I guess I'm so active down here at sea level. I'm a sea level boy. Anytime I go out there, it's just a whole, like I really am aware of it. Like I literally can't breathe. I do like a couple calls, or I would do like a talk like I'm talking now, and I'd be gassed. I'd be like need a second. But we're doing that. We're building things, and these events that we do, you guys, are very difficult. It requires our full team. It requires volunteers. It requires tons of money, travel, risk, communication, everything. It's like everything is like up in the air, and we pull it off. We've done 9 events now, so we're excited for our Babes in Business event in Palm Springs, and then we are going to be rolling out giveaways and super cool things for SalonCon. So keep an ear out for that, an eye out on that, because we're going to be giving away some tickets to SalonCon. But next is Palm Springs in California, our Babes in Business event. It's really, really cool. We're going to do really great hotel. Rachel picks these beautiful hotels because we used to decorate the hotels, and that was really expensive. So she was like, we got to find the hotels that are already like decorated out the way that we like them or need them to be, right? So check that out. We'll put a link in below. We're halfway sold out, so grab a spot if you want to come hang out with us in Palm Springs on the Babes in Business event. Really cool. We're going to do a lot of deep dive on just really how to make more revenue, and what that means, like how to make more money, and that comes into like marketing, and that comes into your sales team and your leadership and what that actually means, And I'm really proud of our team and our managers, as the salons are always evolving. It's like just because you get it to run at a couple million doesn't mean it's going to stay there. You're going to have people come and go, and you have to continue to work that mechanism to keep it performing at a high level. Like you're never done. You're never done. So you got to stay on it, and it's a living organism. Same thing with your marketing. Same thing with your content. Like we're creating about 4 shows a week now. So as we speak, Rachel is in. The reason why Rachel's not on this show is because we're dividing and conquering today. She's doing a lot of quality control right now, going through a bunch of hair that we are putting into our warehouse. So she's going through all of that. It's a lot. We have a huge supply of hair out here in Texas, and we do all the QC, right? So the quality control is done because we're not going to send people shitty stuff. So so we deal with all that. So she's doing that right now. Big order. So you got me. We're diving into it. So we're talking about taking care of your body. But then what? Then what is it? We do that, but I want to talk about how that integrates into your business. Okay. So what is growth? Like, what is business? Business is people talking to each other, trade money for a product or service. That's it. Okay. That's business. A piece of content is there to warm your audience. Like what this is. Like, I'm not selling anything. We don't sell anything on this podcast. It is just to create value. So we want to create value for the listener, and that's what we do. That is what I'm thinking about as we speak, as we are spending some time together. Today, I'm thinking about what can I provide this listener with through things that I've learned, mistakes that I've made. And a lot of my mistakes have been made in the communicating on the front end. So I do all of our acquisition, anything that comes in, the money-making stuff, the marketing, working with the production guys, working with the media buyer, working with our organic team. Rachel's involved in the organic stuff as well. But there's a big machine, this big engine that feeds the company, right? So I look after that engine and I run that engine. And then everyone on the production team is a crucial linchpin of what's going on. It's not me, it's us, right? I'm just driving along there. And then we'll get a lot of feedback. A lot of the teams will drive things and push things and move things and need things. So it's a collaborative experience. So it's not like, so you got to lead like that. You know, you don't want to be a lead like a boss. Like, no one likes don't be a boss. No one likes that, right? You got to be in there with the team, right? And at a certain level, sure, you can exit, but we're just not, we're not there, nor do I want to be. I enjoy doing this stuff. Like, you want to do things in your business that you enjoy doing. Like, I like being in the studio and making this kind of content. I got the Brooks over here. We got the screen up, and like, it's cool. Like, I enjoy it. You know, we're making this is going to be an evergreen piece of content that'll live forever on the internet. It's like, my kids can watch this. Like, I dig it. You know, it's a good use of my time. So find something that you like doing. And if you're not into marketing, get into marketing. Like, you got to get into it. You got to get into the content, and you got to get into making stuff. If you go back to our first shitty episodes, we're literally in this room. Y'all, I think I have my phone on like a little stand and like a little shitty mic and some crappy light from Amazon. And I'm trying to get just like decent clips like this. Like, this is very different. There's lights and mics and there's everything now. But we're always getting better at it. So, but it had to start somewhere. And it was trash. It was bad. And then you'll see some clips, and you'll see a clip of Rachel that looks pretty good. I was like, oh, wow, that looks good. That's when I bought like a proper camera. I think the first camera we got was the ZV-E1. That's what we bought. It was like a $2,000 camera. And we didn't have the mics set up, but I put the mics together pretty quick once I got the visual, because audio is kind of my background. So I knew what to get and how to set it up and run the mic. So it's single channel, you know. So now you got good video, got good mic, lighting was shit. So I had to learn about lighting. So I had to learn about key lights and fill lights and rim lights and top lights and kickers, you know. So I got a kicker light over here. So there's a little rim behind me. If you see that on my arm, it's because there's a light intricately placed behind me. And if I don't have that, it looks really dim and dark back there. But you see the light on my arm. So it just puts like a little halo, right? I would like that happening around here too. But like, that means, what do you think it means? I got to bring the light up so it comes down. So that's a different setup. So next episode, we'll have that rim light going all the way around the top of my head, around, like, we'll go all the way around. We have bigger ones, but they're kind of clunky and they fall. So just going through stuff, really getting into things like that. I mean, what better thing to do than to understand light and great visual for a salon owner, right? Just make better content than everyone else. Like, put more thought into it, more energy, and really love it. Really, it's a creative process. Like, we're being creative in here. Like, we're just creating an episode out of thin air today, you know? So get into that. That's important. So there's two things that we're kind of going into here. Taking care of your body, you know, with routines. And I mean, I could go into my routine, but you probably don't want to hear about it on this episode. It's quite long. I was doing it today, and I was going through my routine. I was like, I'm kind of tired. And I'm like, just getting done with my routine for the day, the morning, you know, not working out, but like my cold plunge, some rebound stuff, my supplements, my breakfast, water, stuff like that. Just getting going, my 1 cup of coffee, my 15 minutes of sun. So my morning takes about an hour. I like it. That's me. Maybe that's not your thing. It's not Rachel's thing. She is, though, I will say, sitting in the sun. I catch her out in the sun a little more, sitting out there. I'm like, it's good. Makes you feel good. Sun's great. Early morning sun, though. So there's not like at 1 o'clock. Like, you don't want to sit out there, high sun, heavy UV in the morning, like 8:30. It's really nice. It's really good for you. You want to soak up those rays on a walk, or I just sit there and read sometimes, different books. I'm going to start, I read the Bible, but I'm going to pull that into my morning routine. It's a big book, right? So it needs a lot of time put into it. So that is important. And the marketing will create attention. So that's what you're trying to do when you're creating content. You're trying to create value. You're just getting attention on what you're doing. What you're driving is relevance. So when you drive that relevance, if you're creating more content and it's better than everyone else's, you, my friend, are going to be more relevant. That's it. And some people are like, I'm just not into social media. You're not going to be relevant. You just won't be. I'm sorry, but you gotta get out there and you gotta get in front of the camera and create stuff. And it's gonna suck, and it's fine. No one cares, right? You care more than anyone else does, but you got to get it out there and make better stuff. And then look at the data. We'll make stuff all the time that we think is dumb, and then it's preferred over what we thought was excellent. So it has nothing to do with like our opinion as a production crew. It's like, what is the data telling us? And it's really shaped how we make content, which is really interesting. So it's really cool because no one comes in with like heavy opinions and like this sucks or you should do that. Like we're looking at what happened the previous week. We're looking at numbers. We're looking at data. Cool. This worked really well. The stuff with rate, like this is a really polished and processed clip, and they're cool and they look good and they do well. Oftentimes though, like when we're at a red light and then we do a little cam to talk at a red light with the kids crying in the background, that does better, but we like this better, but the audience or the algorithm likes this better. So we do both, right? So when I say the audience or the algorithm, anytime you hear algorithm, it's audience. Oh, the algorithm doesn't like my stuff. It's the audience doesn't like your stuff because it sucks, but you got to make more of it so it doesn't suck. That's the path, right? So these are some high level thoughts on what we do. And what we do is like today's Thursday. I don't know when you're listening to this, but when I'm making this, it's a Thursday, and we block the whole day out to shoot content. And it's not always crispy and clean and super organized. Like there's people working on the house. We actually have electricians over right now, so I'm hoping the power doesn't go off any second. They're supposed to tell us if they need to cut it. But you just got to create the content. We put about 25 to 30 hours per month on content. So that is how much we create. So our podcast will spit out clips for YouTube, for Instagram, Facebook. We'll run the full show on YouTube. We'll create ads. Brooks and I shot 3 quick ads for our free group and Build Your Own Brand. And you'll likely see those are out there. And sometimes my ads do better than Rachel's. Sometimes hers do better than mine. Sometimes ours does better together. You add a kid, that does better. So we're always, but the ad won't live forever. It'll be exposed to the audience, but eventually everyone will see that, right? Or your client, your ideal target client will see that enough to where your CTRs start going down and your costs start going up. So that ad is ran its course. So it's a very ongoing, always creating stuff to stay relevant. And that's really, really important. That's been a huge key component of what's gotten us to what we're doing and to stay relevant. And we try to teach it all the time. I'm always trying to encourage salon owners to make more stuff. I think the challenge is you can get caught, maybe you're behind the chair and you can't create that stuff. But I mean, you are the master of your time, my friend. So you can control when you do certain things. And oftentimes to buy some time back as the owner, we got to develop the team, right? So I'm always focused on our team. A lot of what I do is I really don't do much by myself at all anymore. I'm always connecting with our chief of staff. I'm always connecting with our editors, our designers, our sales team, the stylists, the managers. Like I'm very, very collaborative in what we're doing. Rachel as well. So short episode today. Hope that was helpful. Kind of all over the place, but just wanted to talk about some concepts on like how to behave and what to focus on to get you to growth. Because growth literally means change. Like you will not grow if you do not change. Okay, so I'll leave you with that. Hope this was helpful. We'll see you next time. Have a great day.